It is negative temps still. Brutal. Today we're going to talk about wire fraud, which sounds fancy, very fancy. Tell us what's going on with wire fraud.
Absolutely. Wire fraud is something that you see in conjunction with a lot of different types of fraud and scams. So just kind of on its own, what it looks like is sending money via wire to another individual for fraudulent purposes. And we see it where people fall victim to romance scams, for example. Their online love interest says, I just really need money for this emergency that's come up. Please send it to me. Please wire it to me. It's very fast. Or we might see it in job scams where they might send you a check and they'll have you deposit it into your account, but it's too much for the equipment you need, and they say, oh, just wire the rest of it back to us that you don't use. And it turns out the check is bad, and you've wired funds to the bad actor. And it's so popular because they know that once those funds are wired, it's just like cash, it's very hard to get back.
Explain the term wired.
Sure, wiring is the process of taking the money from your account and sending it through, it's called the Fed line, but it is a very widely used money transfer process through financial institutions, and it just directly sends the money from bank A to bank B. So from one account right into the other, usually takes a little bit of time to do it because both ends have to process it. But once it is sent, and if it's withdrawn from the other institution, it's very hard to get back. And so especially if you use services like MoneyGram, where they can be accessed anywhere, it's so hard to find the bad actor.
So is MoneyGram and Western Union, is that considered wire transfers?
Yep, those are wire services. They offer other services as well, like money orders, for example. That's what a lot of people will use MoneyGram for, purchasing money orders for bill paying and other uses. But they also do wiring services. And it's very important to never send a wire to someone you don't know or you haven't met.
Or even better, just don't send wires.
It's amazing that Western Union still operates.
I got a telegram the other day.
When's the last time you probably used it? Your generation used it.
Yeah, everybody used it. Save-A-Lot drugstore years ago used to have a little window where you could go Western Union telegram.
Do you know where the Western Union is here in town?
No, all I know is like Dollar General has some spots, but
What?
No.
They have a Western Union? It's at the bus station. It's at the bus station. So I've never used it. Brandon, have you? No, never used it. We should start. No, we don't want to use Western. We don't want to wire.
Well, wires have their time and place where they're very useful. For example, purchasing real estate or large purchases, wires come in very handy. They're very safe for that. But the part of that is you know who you're working with, you trust them, they're reputable. Whereas a lot of the bad actors, you don't have that safety net to consider.
So they know that their likelihood of getting caught is less because it's through the wire system.
Correct. Yep. They could be anywhere in the world. There are international wires. Not all institutions do them, but they can be overseas. They can be in the United States to receive that wire, and they just go in, take the money, and run.
Crazy.
No.
You can't claw it back.
Let's talk a little bit about credit scores. Tommy, I've never checked my credit score. Can you believe that?
I can't believe that.
You should be able to believe that. If you
do? You don't?
You've never checked your credit score?
You don't know your credit score? Is that what you said?
I've never checked it. I mean, my wife handles that.
No, that makes sense.
But how do you check your credit score?
So there's multiple ways to check your credit score. You can check through your financial institution. Sometimes they'll have like a soft pull. So there's two types of credit scores that most people don't understand. There's a soft pull and a hard pull. Hard pull is pretty much like a full scope of your score. So it's kind of like your entire script from high school. We use grade point averages for example. It's easier to understand. But like a soft pull is like, I only see you only got a 3.4 in high school. I don't see all the classes you've taken.
Does a full pull, does that affect your credit?
It does. It does typically. Drops it a few points. But then typically after a few months it does go up. Yeah.
That seems weird to me. Why, just someone checking your credit, why would that be a ding on your credit score?
Yeah, so it's a full scope of reasons, but really it's because we're trying to get all your history. So doing that affects it because we don't know what has happened in the past.
So it's an indicator that you're probably applying for credit or thinking about it, right?
I would think, Have you ever checked your credit score?
Yeah, well, these people, they send me the stuff in the email, and
And then you click on it?
I've got an app. There's an app that has my.
Now, can you find something suspicious on your credit report?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Multiple people have. Back in the day, it was very common, people pulling out credit in your name. Nowadays, it's safer because there's a lot of security measures put in place. But if you do find something suspicious on your credit report, you can just go to one of the 3 bureaus and dispute it and kind of put a lock on your credit.
What's your credit score?
Well, I can't find the app. I mean,
Do you guys do that around the office? What's your credit score?
I don't know about that. That's we kind of keep it taboo.
I think mine's a lot
how
higher
come there's
than yours, I'll
different
just tell you that right
credit
now.
scores? There's different credit companies, right?
Yeah, so there are 3 different bureaus, and they all pull different factors of your credit score, and that's the reason why it kind of varies, because everybody uses something different.
I wonder if I should take my COVID alert off my phone.
I'm thinking there's a few of those apps I see there. The Northwest Airlines you can take off, Bart.
No, I need
They're
that
bankrupt. Oh my goodness. So what else can we learn from our credit report?
So you can learn how much trades you have. So everything that you have out is a trade, and you can kind of figure out your credit limits on there, if anybody has pulled out suspicious things. So we recommend that you check it at least once a year. But from the 3 bureaus, you get a free credit check. So you can have it 3 times a year.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming in and helping spread this news in the community.
I found it, credit-wise.
410. No, I'm just kidding. But you guys have a website, thefraudfighters.org, and let's be honest, a lot of these scams, they're not getting any simpler, right? It's getting crazier and crazier with AI out there, so make sure that you work with a financial institution that has your back, like American One.
And I'd like to be the first to congratulate Erin and Thomas and the entire American One Credit Union family on their 75th anniversary of serving.
Big time.
Thank
It's great. We have a wealth of things planned for this year. We're excited to see everything come to fruition.
Awesome. We look forward to it. A lot of fun celebrating 75 years. Thanks to Thomas Harris and Erin Supinsky from American One Credit Union.
Thank you.
We're the morning show right after this.